The fact that you've clicked through this video tells me that you have dreams that are so beyond you that they scare you. And I'm glad you did, because I want to share with you something today that I was reflecting on when I watched a video that triggered something, and I thought I have to share this just in case other people have big dreams and imposter syndrome is knocking on their door. If you're new here, welcome. I am Doreca Delbridge and I am an occupational psychologist from msdorylinda.com. And if you're returning, welcome back. Now, I think it's very common for all of us to be struggling with imposter syndrome. I don't think any of us are immune. I was watching a video by Jade Damawanska. I believe that's how you pronounce her name, but she's a millennial. She does YouTube. If you want to just search her, Domination, I believe is her hashtag. And she's just wonderful. I really enjoy her content. She's a creative that's always buzzing. And recently she's been talking a lot about mental health, because on top of us just pursuing entrepreneurship, sometimes we do that to the detriment of our health. And if you're a returning viewer, you're thinking, does Miss Dory have a new haircut? Yes, and the fact that we're talking about mental health actually has something to do with this, because I had a really rough 2021. Not rough in the sense of anything bad going on, but I worked myself to the bone. Like literally, I was experimenting with so much that my health took a back seat. I gained a whole lot of weight that I am gentle with myself, will lose gently, hopefully in 2022. But another thing was that my hair started to weaken and my growth wasn't strong enough. And my locks, if you remember, I had locks. If it's the first time we're meeting, I'll put a picture up here. My locks started to weaken and I just waited and waited. If you remember some of my videos leading up to this point, I was just tying up headbands and I just thought, I'll just wait it out. I'll fix it. And it got to a place where I just could no longer fix them without them being damaged. And I ended up deciding, you know what, I'll just cut it. With locks, you can reattach. So I'm waiting for my hair to grow out and be healthy and be strong, and for my health to be improving, for me to actually reattach my locks. So mental health and emotional health and health in general has been at the forefront of my mind. And if you watched my close of the year video, I was talking about really wanting to dial back the time that I've been spending pursuing things I want to do, whether it's for work or family. But listening to Jade this morning, it triggered something in me, because she said something about how we can sometimes go about life looking for evidence that we don't deserve something, or looking for evidence that we're not good enough. Now, I'm first to admit that I am guilty of this, being a perfectionist. And if you're a perfectionist, let me know down in the comment, maybe you can relate to this, is that when we are perfectionistic in nature, we tend to think everything we do just doesn't measure up, right? So what I hadn't realized was that recently, with the new things that I wanted to do and even dialing back the time I'm spending, but also still achieving the same results, is that part of me has been looking for things to not be right, looking for evidence that I don't measure up to that. And when Jade touched on that, I literally, like, something in me just screamed like acknowledgement of that. And I felt so much sorrow about that. And I don't know why. I don't even know if sorrow is the right word, but like sadness about that, in a sense of how we can get to a place where we are looking for things to disqualify ourselves of the race, right? And I was reminded of a scripture that says God doesn't call the qualified, but he qualifies the called. And I think it only came to mind the other day because I heard Tad Hargrave just talking about it again. And it's such a lovely scripture, because I think it reminds us that most of the time when we are looking for evidence that we don't qualify, we are bound to find it, because most of the things that we are called to do or to serve really are way beyond anything we can ever fathom, right? If people who have achieved so much, they always tell you, yeah, I had big dreams, but what I've been able to achieve, I could never have foreseen that. So there's so much that sometimes as big ambitious people, like if you're one of them, let me know down in the comment, that we can have a vision for something that we want to support, bring forth, be part of in this world, in this human experience. And we can go about looking for evidence that we don't qualify to be part of that venture. And chances are all we're doing is just triggering the imposter syndrome. And the imposter syndrome is there waiting anyway. It's like, come on into the train to nowhere, right? And we're finding ourselves getting lost in that pursuit because we keep thinking, where's the evidence that I'm supposed to do this? And we look into the past and we're just depressed. And we look into the future and we're just scared and anxious because we can't see a way. And what we're missing is being in the present moment in order to just see what is unfolding. Because this idea of being qualified, this is an ongoing evolving, right? This is ongoing action. So every day we see a little bit of ourselves applying ourselves to different things and actually being qualified in doing it. The qualification is not somehow we are given it and then we go and then we fulfill the thing. It's almost like we are called to do, not feeling ready, and we do the thing and then we realize, oh, I was ready, or oh, I wasn't ready enough and I have to learn something that makes you ready. Right? However way it unfolds for you. And I don't know if this resonates with you. Let me know down below if this has been your case, because I know the tendency tends to be that when we're starting a new year, as we are right now, and we've just starting February, as I'm recording this, is just beginning of February. I don't know when I'm going to be publishing it, but it can feel really scary that we are starting the new year with this like grand plans, with big ideas, and then soon enough we start to feel the resistance of, am I even qualified to be dreaming these big dreams? And my encouragement to you today, don't look within yourself to think if you're qualified. Be willing and open to experiences that will give you evidence that you are being qualified as you go. It's almost like we want to have like, give me, if you've been through university, you know what I'm talking about. If you've gone to college, right? You go to college and you think, I'm done for life. I have my degree, I have my master's, I have my PhD, whatever level you finished at. I'm ready for the world. And then you go into the world of work and you're thinking, I don't know any of this. Like, I studied it, but I don't think I'm ready for this. And you find yourself learning on the job. And most of our work, most of our doing with online entrepreneurship, even if you've done business studies before, even if you've learned before, you will find that you're learning on the job. You are learning as you do. So your big dream that scares you, as it does me, right? I am on a verge right now of introducing a new program. And by the time this comes out, I believe my channel would look very different since I'm relaunching my channel to align with this new direction. And I hope I'll do another video to explain why did I come to be doing this type of program, because I think it's really important for people to even understand why does this matter, right? And so I hope I'll do a different video and a separate video to speak a little bit more on that. But if you're a fellow creator, I believe you would really resonate with this, because I think most of the time we get really excited about, I just want to create a program, I want to create a course, I want to start a membership. And we really research about, how do I start something? How do I do this? How do I do that? In putting together a thing. And I was really frustrated, and I'll do this in a separate video, but I was really frustrated the other day when I was searching and there was very little interest in search. So when you search and you see what terminologies people are looking for, people are hardly ever looking for, how do I actually sell this thing, right? Because I think we are sold a dream that we build a thing and they will come. Just build a thing and everybody will be fantastic. Will be knocking down the door to get your stuff. Sometimes that happens if you've already built a knowing and you already have an audience, but most of the time we have to do a little bit of work to actually get our word out there. And I know that can be a really sticky point to a lot of us, and that's what I discovered when I was running my Baobab Experience membership, was that every time we got to the sales and marketing part of it, it became really tricky. And then that's when I realized, this is a bottleneck. If we can't get our stuff out there, nobody's gonna know, nobody's gonna be transformed. But these amazing gifts that we have that we are bringing to the world. So that's how this whole new program of helping people do that sustainably using YouTube traffic came about. So I'm really wanting to help other fellow online content creators to fill up their memberships, their courses, their programs using YouTube organic traffic, because I know that has worked really well for me, something that I understand. And the reason I came to use YouTube was because it has allowed that sustainability reality for me. I'm not one of those people that can create stuff day in, day out to be on social media, to be relevant, right? I like things to be done well and for that to have some, shelf life. And I find that YouTube really does that. And there's so much that I want to be sharing with you more about what I've learned on YouTube and how can that help you if you're an online content creator or you're an online entrepreneur. In a sense, that can be really helpful in creating a stream of ideal clients that can work with you, that can be part of your course, a program, or a membership. So let me know below if that resonates with you, because I think that can be a sticky part, and most of the time we feel really isolated and we don't talk about it because maybe we think we did something wrong, that nobody's knocking down our door to buy our stuff, right? Because we didn't really think about all the other stuff. We're just thinking the hard part is the building of the thing, and then once we build it, we realize, oh dang, the hard part is to actually market and sell the thing. And most of the time when people get there, then they doubt themselves, right? And then they give up on the idea and shelf it, thinking maybe it was the thing that was not a good enough thing, and they go on to start another thing and build that. And you've done that a few times. That's when you realize, oh, maybe I should have just held on and continued to actually put it out there, right? And hopefully you've done the right thing. You've pre-sold it and all that, in a sense of you've made sure that there was a demand before you built the thing, which I always advocate for. And if you've seen me talk about before any of my workshops or programs, I always ask people or have people be interested first before I start building it. So like with this one, I have one person that already bought before I even launched it. I'm thinking, I don't know if when this video comes out whether it will be launched yet, because I am launching February 14th, and I believe by the time this video comes out it probably would not be open yet. But I already have one person that they bought in before I even did the beta group, because they wanted to start working together. So that's been really exciting for me, because it has helped me to now build it with a person in mind instead of being like in a void just in my head, right? So it's really helpful. But this idea of having these big dreams and things that we want to do, which is for me is this new project, because it's completely different angle to how I was approaching things before. It can feel really scary. So my encouragement to you today, as it is my encouragement to myself, is to look for ways each day in which you are being qualified, as in you're being given opportunities to learn something new, to evolve in something new, right? Instead of looking for evidence that you don't measure up. Instead of looking for evidence that this isn't working. Part of my membership, which we've been working for a while, we call it exceptions journaling. It's like, what has not gone wrong today? What is actually working? So that we can find the things that showing us slowly but surely we are qualified. We are being qualified as we're doing it, right? It's an ongoing, continuous tense. And it's not like a thing that we need to look for in the past to understand, oh, I am all good, I'm going to come in here, no imposter syndrome, none of that. So if you have those big dreams, I hope I spoke to you today. Let me know down in the comment section if that was the case. Share with me what it is that you're working on. I would love to know. I would love to hear what your plans for 2022 are. And as we always say on this channel, focus on your being than doing. And I'll see you in the next one.